All right. We get over here. 6 p.m. I open the board of directors meeting study session. The 12th district, Tuesday, November 12th. Go ahead, Jim.
Okay, and back into this budget draft number 4. We met last Wednesday, I believe, Greg, the supervisors, the South of Frisbee. We went through, you notice everything has been, balanced out. There was some concerns, like I said, on the, Parks and Rec side, Josh, we were able to work that out, and also, moved some funding around so that way it would meet up with his, seasonal and keep on
So, budget committee. What do you think?
I think, everybody worked really hard on this, and we're as fine as we're gonna get. I mean, we had to make some changes, Jim and Christie did that, you know, as to why some things went up, why some things went down. That I didn't understand, but now I understand why. So, I think we've done pretty well.
Any specific points that you think we should be aware of?
One of the things too, Greg kind of just brought up is with the electricity now, and looking at having an increase in that. I went through and had a look, and we went up about 5% in all of it. The only one that we went down in was sewer, because with the new VFDs and things like that, our electrical should go down.
For power use.
For power.
God, I know that, when Greg and I met with him, we went with all the department heads, and we had a lot of questions, after, I had talking to each of the departments. Some of the things that I may go to call out, I know last meeting we asked questions about the admin salary number with one. And, the big thing that we learned from that was we're, having some positions that were not filled. This last year, they're being anticipated to be filled, which has kind of brought the number up from what it was for actuals for 25. So that's why we see the difference there. Was one of the things we saw. And then, also for the, seasonal wages, looking at, Dylan and Tim, and we're looking at getting some help for Jim and Christie with, some part-time help 3 days a week. We try to help with the load on them, so that kind of gave us some really good insight about the salary kind of numbers in that area.
For admin.
For admin, okay? That was one of the call-outs that I had noted. And I think we talked about under admin that, the figure of utilities for telephone was a new phone system anticipated in the budget. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that was another, one of the big differences there. And then, we had a couple places where we called out that we saw the numbers have gone down through the year, and so the golf course of the area was one that we anticipated to do a lot of repair work this year. That'll get them through next year, so there was some areas like that. And we saw some numbers come down.
That's cool. One of the things is we don't have the comfort of appreciation like we had in the past. You know, when we got that, about $180,000 this year in property tax, it hurt us. That's why one of the deals is, if you look on the rec side, we're looking at a new roof on, the rec center. I went in last Thursday and met with the commissioners at noon, and we, put in a request for $60,000 for a new roof on it. And I explained that to them. I said, we were looking at putting on a new roof, but with this cut, now I don't have it. And so they asked if there was a possibility, is it all or none? I said, any portion can help us. I said, we do have money in our CTF fund that we can leverage back with it too, so.
So what you're saying basically is that depreciation took a hit this year.
Yeah, the depreciation took a hit. Water, we did put, substantial amount in water in depreciation. Roads, we had $4,000 in it. Was with the grader and that stuff, which we also had, $10,000 that we used for, looking at a purchase lease or whatever for VACTRA, which we also added into sewer, water, all across the board to, help us in that situation. Water department, we have about 45,000 that we put into depreciation.
I see that, and then I see on sewer, $137.
Yeah, we didn't have too much there.
Oh, that's dangerous, you know, I understand budget constraint, but, well, that's dangerous.
Well, in over the last 3 years, sewer, we've been able to put a lot of money into depreciation. I think over the last 4 years, we have like $80,000 that we put in depreciation for sewer. Where water, we haven't been able to put that depreciation in with all the engineering costs and all the legal costs that we've had to absorb in the water side.
Ray, I think you had a question, did you?
My question, has already been addressed with the electricity. I know electricity is gonna go up, and I just, made a global statement before the meeting started that any electric, budgeting that we're doing into the future, if we have if that number matches a 2025 number, it's not gonna be enough. Because we know that electricity, San Isabel's meeting here shortly, and they're going to be raising rates. And I got an AI summary that said Colorado was probably going to be across the board 3-4%. And so I would say if we had any of those equals, we'd raise it 5% just to be on the safe side.
Although I don't know if that's what they used today, the governor issued the stay of the shutdown for you to financial.
You did issue?
Yeah, today, this morning.
Cool.
That's
Good
good.
thing.
That'll keep,
That's a
hopefully, at least for a
Yeah.
little bit longer, it'll
Already
keep rates reasonable. Or should. We'll see what ends up happening.
That's the view, Captain.
That's the news.
Very good. Which I've also had, San Isabel come in and look at us and trying to put in a partnership of a lot of our power usage, if we can use it off peak hours and stuff that way, which, so, you know, we're 24/7 when the water plant, sewer plant, you know, that we just can't pick and choose when we can turn on all our motors and pumps and stuff that we, but they're gonna help us look into seeing how they can assist us at peak.
VFDs help that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
We don't
talked-
get a big spike.
That's what we talked about is the sewer. We actually went down in electricity because of the VFDs and all the updates that we had.
Then whenever we install the DAP system, that would should go further down.
Yeah.
Whenever that.
And hopefully with them opening up the government a little bit, that money for, EPA and stuff can start flowing a little bit better. And that's part of that energy that we were looking at, having all the lighting and everything into, for the gas system as, I guess enough, but, LED and our pumps and VFDs and stuff, that stuff we can put within that graph.
Okay. Good.
One more question. Jimmer, I'm assuming that the salaries for the interns with PCC are diluted within the water or wastewater?
Yes.
Okay, I assumed that's why.
That was kind of, the seasonal and
Okay.
also your hour.
Okay.
That is another call out for the water, there's a big increase from what the end of the year will look like for, the hourly wages. And, what we learned is that, this gentleman Matt is gonna be coming back into the office. And then we're expecting the potential for raises and, staff costs for test that we're taking.
That's why you see the difference between our forecasted and. Yeah. We got guy out for a bit.
So I'm going to defer to the committee and the people you guys that work on, I appreciate your efforts there. Now, I'm concerned about the appreciation. I think that we have to be real careful, I think, about it. Because that pretty tight, kind of tight up the budget. Christie, what about you? Do you feel like it's okay?
I'm very confident in the budget, and I'm very confident with our committee.
Good.
Everybody just needs to tighten it up.
Everybody did a good job of.
Yes.
Tightening it?
Yep.
All right, good.
I was real impressed with each of the department heads, really having their minds around the detail of the budget. Wasn't just depending on somebody else putting it together. The answer to our questions very thoroughly, well thought out, I'm really impressed.
Greg, what did you think? This is a different side of it for you.
Yeah. Yeah, as every department head, when we first started, they said, this is what we're looking to do. And then they had an idea, and we all worked really well together. I mean, I was, really happy with it.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Next.
Unless somebody else has anything else.
No?
All right.
Okay, next update on the dam engineering. I did get a letter from Tracy. She needed to have us pay for the permit, apply and pay for it. If you notice in your packet, and over 5,000, it was $30,000 for it. If we would have put it on a credit card, it would have cost us 2%. So I had Christie do an ACH for $1. That's why it's not in the bills itself, but it was, so that way we can get it moving. I guess they're ready to put it in, that's what she said, that they were getting ready to, send it, that's why they needed the permit paid for. Have to have the permit paid for before the engineers would even look at doing it. That was that update, so they're kind of ahead of schedule, so.
Good. So I'm presuming, Jim, that permit, paying for that permit was not in the contract
No, that's on
of
us.
the engineering contract,
No, that's on us.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, in other words, we own the choice, we gotta go forward on that, yeah. That's an exorbitant amount for the state to look at it, spend a couple hours looking at it. But, so be it. Okay,
So the next one, yeah, the annual review for cyber, security. We have to send them notes showing that we discuss our cybersecurity, keep us at our $1 million policy. If we don't do that on a yearly basis, it drops it down to $100,000. So I also have Ray, from 1.3. He's reviewing the policy to see if there's any things that we need to change in the future for like next year. He's pretty confident with things that we've done so far with the firewall, the VPN improvements, our computers and our backups and our server is all up to date. So, that's one of the things that we're using the cloud now instead of, a lot of it that was out there free and easy to get. So, that's one of the things that I have on the agenda is that the board, agrees that we are doing the right steps in moving forward with our cybersecurity, also with training with our employees as, for phishing and things like that. And we do that through Vector Solutions, our fishing, program.
What?
Mr. Chairman, I was just gonna ask, which of the staff goes through the fishing testing training room?
All of them.
All of them,
For input,
they all have access to these.
and again, it's good to know for your own personal.
Yeah.
And then we must use our cell phones for work too.
That's a lot of it there. Cause our GIS, for diagram maps and stuff, they use, or outside, they always use that. And, it's a possible backfill.
So you're obviously discussing any kind of ransomware attacks that,
Yes.
is that becoming less of a thing now in business?
No, it's actually
It's worse.
getting worse.
It's so much worse.
Is it?
Yeah, you know,
Just
last
don't hear
year,
about
last year,
Not these, now it's just eventuality.
last year, I was hit with ransomware and all of that, and then somebody got into the bank accounts, and so even our banking, they come back and now any check that, any amount that comes through, if Chrissy don't clear it, we get a notice right away that they hold it until she does go in and clear it. That it was part of our bills payable or whatever that was. Okay,
Thank you.
How often is the fish training?
once a year. Okay, so next is, we're also looking at changing payroll. We tried maybe, we were going on with them first, before we went to Paychecks. And Paychecks had a better deal for us, and they were promised us a lot of things. And Christie has a problem with some of the stuff still. So we're looking at, ADP got with us. They said the same thing, that they're able to match and, do all of her time, for leave and all of that were matched with Cassell. So we're looking at it, and then they're also looking at giving us 6 months free. So we'll have to pay the first 3 months, then they give us 3 months, and then another 3 months we pay, and then the last 3 months are free. So that's kind of will help our budget in some ways. And, it's dropping from where we're paying, what, about 2,000 a month?
1,500, 2,000 when we have our seasonal. So the thing that impressed me the most was ADP and Cassell have had a permanent relationship for over 20 years. So I know that anything that goes into that system is gonna automatically be involved in the Cassell system. So I don't have to manually go in and input payroll twice. So that's a big sell. We did base it on 41 employees. That was at the time when we got the quote, that was how many employees we paid for. So it's just gonna be better, I believe. And, we should have done it before, but that's okay. We're good. So please vote yes.
Questions?
It isn't anything as a vote.
Oh, no.
It's just that informing you, our operation got changed.
Yeah, I think we need to be on top of it.
That's why I wanted.
The chair, I'm sure from past experience with ADP specifically was very positive, very reliable.
I've had that as well.
Well, definitely impressed with the additional HR support.
Because the first time we talked to them, they didn't have kind of a quote where I have, say Gary, he's 50-50, 50 water, 50 sewer. You know, Aiden and I had, he's water, sewer, roads, you know, and even mine, I'm in all the funds, so they couldn't do it at that time, but now they're able to.
That was my question, I guess, is that one of the reasons that we didn't go with them to start with was because they seemed like they couldn't, portion out the payroll to a different department.
Which now they,
And they can do that now? So you're satisfied with the way they can handle the?
That's what they say that they can do.
That was a
So
big sticker before.
Yes. So we're gonna start that process now of that changeover,
we can start it.
so that at the beginning of the year, we'll finish out with paychecks. So that way we get our, W-2s and all of that taken care of by paychecks, but then ADP will cover us now for the year to get that.
That also, the start of paychecks was kind of messed up with all the kind of stuff that was going on at that time. Can we feel comfortable with that's not gonna happen this
Oh,
time?
definitely.
There's all kinds of methods
Yeah.
involved there.
Yeah. And we should be able to get going.
So the difference between paychecks and ADP, basically what you're saying is the connection with Excel.
Yeah.
And that they can at this time do the percentage allocation.
And that's been what's hard for Christie on the financial side, is keeping up with what what we paid out for, seasonal and all of that. Of course, she had to go in and figure it all out before we did budget, so that way we did have figures as to what we did pay out so far. And it's hurts our supervisors because they don't know who they could keep, who they need to get rid of, you know. As we go along.
Overall, the difference in cost,
Huge.
It's cheaper. And I think for the 41 employees, it came out to be $400. Yeah. Instead of being $1,500.
great, that's good job.
We are going through and trying to get it. We're looking for the best deals.
That's great. Thanks, Christine.
I might get a new group someday.
Okay, so what else? Anybody else have anything?
Okay, in your CCAC review, we have one bill, and I believe it is a shed. Or a fence, I'm sorry. It's a fence, and it's off of Kabala. Randy has looked at it, he has approved it.
Question for? I would thought it's kind of no brainer.
But
That's good. We have enough talk there.
Yeah.
Okay. Bob?
Good evening, board. I was gone a couple of weeks here. I'm not sure if the RV, 223, I don't know if it's voted or not.
no,
It wasn't. Okay, I can help with that if you need help. Littering signs, I talked to Adam Avina at the Health Department, and they are in order for the littering signs, and Brady's helping us with
The
the
signs are in order.
for the littering. And that'll be for the county roads. CDOT's not gonna allow us to put them on Highway 160. But they are in order. And then the covenant signs, really is coming up with some examples for us. And we'll have them.
No, to clarify that, the signs are on order do not have the statement on it of cover control.
No, that's a separate sign. Yeah, there was, the littering signs are designated by the county and state. Both county and state follow the state sign. Yeah, it's manual, uniform traffic control, and that's what. Follow. Okay, Sheriff Lopez and I we went out and he helped me, as a backup, we posted, there were 4, I've got more, but there's 4 packets that came back unopened or refused. And so we went out, to 4 different places and I placed those packets. We gave them to, one individual who was there and then another individual who got me on the ring camera. And then she has replied to me. And it was the wrong address. We had the wrong address, so she was totally unaware of it. And, but anyway, I'm working with her on that wrong address. I do have another one that will, need some backup too, just to, feel comfortable with going out onto their property. Miss Felicia, our man, that was C226 that we visited out last week. I went out and looked at it. It just didn't make, or I didn't understand exactly what she was saying. And if you look at that, I did a drone picture, several drone pictures with her permission of the site, and you'll notice the fence coming out of her property comes straight out. Well, when she was describing that, I thought that was all the way to the south and was at her perimeter. Well, it's not, it's right down the middle of the road. And you've got also the regulations, UDC on there, as well as on the back of the regulation, to show the picture that kind of explains what the Rose is talking about. And, I did invite, Ms. Armand to come this evening. I told her we'd be here. But just to the north of her property, a concrete retaining wall has been put in with a fence, a dividing fence. Well, it comes out further than their front of their building also. And when it was put in, I don't know. My recommendation is, and I already talked to her, he's already planning on taking the east side that faces her house from the street, taking that off. And then my recommendation, because of the fence to her north there, you see the second picture coming out from her house, the same distance that dividing fence is. And then you'll see I drew a little line down there coming down on the 93 feet. And that would be my recommendation. Just because that other fence is already, and so it should be taking off over half of the fence, taking over half of the fence off to get there. But the fence is in a weird place. It doesn't describe it in the county, whatever. So that's where I've come up with that. That's just a recommendation. That's how it would help her also. So
Is she willing to do it?
well, she was already contacted the contractor to take the front off. And then she would like to keep that whole fence down the middle, which really doesn't make much sense. But,
That's that, excuse me, that fence that's, right next to that car.
yes, it's around going east and west. And it comes out all the way 6 feet. And there's a fence to the north of that, a dividing fence between the properties. And, that comes out past the, houses anyway. And it was put in,
This is the,
But they don't have a front on that.
the north and the.
no, they don't have a front.
They don't have a front.
Right.
That's the biggest
This
feature.
filter here.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
You say this, I was suggesting that.
So the fence on the side,
You know, picture of it.
really not whether it's there or not.
The side.
This one here.
Oh, okay.
No, that's the neighbor, that's the border fence between the two.
So that's
That's not the issue.
Basically, that.
This is the fence right here.
The rest of
And
the.
she agreed
This is the
to
one that got from us.
well, this is gonna come down, and my suggestion was we back this one up. Where it matches this one.
Consistent with the one that's already there.
Yeah.
So it goes from
And then
3
you
feet.
also, it comes down, here's the picture right here. It comes out here, would match this fence on this house right here. On the dividing fence between here. The length would match it, come across here, and then you'd come down, instead of just a straight up and down board, you cut down, this angle down to it for 3 feet. Which is required by,
Oh, this would be gone,
yeah, the front would be gone.
which is the.
Down to
what's the-
3 feet.
What's the big issue?
Yes.
Well, are we being successful with working with her?
Pardon?
Are we being successful working with her?
Yeah, I wasn't looking at the number of
We should
times.
continue doing that. I mean, as far as,
Well, with the recommendation I'm gonna take out, we'll see, but I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, she's been very amiable about visiting and.
that in itself is success.
Yeah, she's very amiable about it.
That's the right thing to do.
So if we, I think it's kind of compromise. And that would be my recommendation. C233. Okay, that's the one I talked to, another one about a fence. And, I did extend their timeline out, the one that didn't have an address, correct address. So I started the dates over again and issued that. And they're fine with that. Matter of fact, from the packet, there was a car involved in that, complaint also. They had already moved the car. And so anyway, she's willing to work with us. But I didn't move the date out. And I gotta come back to C 234, is that an illegal barbed wire fence? Well, it was one wire across the top, and I called the neighbor, and he said, no problem, I'll take it down, and he did. In fact, sooner than he thought he could get down there and do it. But then that same complainant, complained again about the type of fence, and so I went to the reg, and it does say it has to be a wooden fence. And so I need to readdress that. And so that'll be, I said it was closed, but I just need to let you know it's going to be readdressed. And then, a complainant by the name of Mr. Olmsted about a property across from him that's a mess. Visited with him today, whatever, but the key thing about him was, he's volunteered, or he asked about our computer needs, and he's willing to help. And I can give Jim his name, and he can call him and see if he can help us out. I wasn't sure about, I think we said the young man at Bryan High School didn't come through. So maybe he can help with that. Right.
Problem is that the young lady was the software we're using for the website. It doesn't give us protection. And somebody accidentally taken the site down.
That's one of the things that I think we need to get with Streamline and see, because I know they have other districts and stuff that people work on it. They need to get that within their software to make that safeguard.
And I talked to him a couple of times, and we need to do one more research.
Okay. And then there are ongoing issues, especially that, 2709, Applewood Drive, and, that's pretty much open. Right there, second house from the corner. But anyway, it looks like we're working, we're at least giving people a call and that's back.
Yeah.
And, I've been trying to work with them. Without your convention, I've given out several extensions, just because of whatever considerations were. But I think we're moving forward. We've got, two LLCs from back east that, I've been really, I've talked to them several times because they own property here. They've been real willing once they got that. So the system's working, it's just, sometimes I'm a little impatient and we should have faster about that. That's what the reality check is.
I have written it down for new business, but I think it's a reasonable time to bring it up. I had a discussion with Sean Winters from Level West. The board had asked me to reach out, see if they'd be willing to join on a meeting with the county. They are, just Christian Hines is expecting a call. They're also in budget season, so we all agree that when the budgets were done, we'd circle back.
Yeah,
But
because their meeting was scheduled actually in December,
yeah,
and it was like around the holidays, so they wanted to step that now and then move work to January. And they're looking at.
yeah, they already sent the ones for the whole year, so that was good. But parallel to that, because I was sharing with Sean, who's in charge of coordinating with their architectural committee about how to, because they have the same problem, nobody gets letters, they get the current. They said that actually they instituted a new step parallel to the first letter, even sometimes before sending the letter, that they actually go and physically post it on the door, saying you will be getting a letter with this actions, call us before we have to make it formal. And he says, man, that works better than the certified. And short of a process server has been the one that we have gotten the most responsive. Just actually physically posted on the door with a red tape. Says usually he says, we'll get in the car and drive off, and by the time we're turning the block, all of a sudden they're calling and apologize.
Yeah.
So just something, I mean, and it was a lengthy conversation. But to sum it up, yes, they're more than willing and able to start joining the conversations and sharing ideas.
Cool.
So Bob, if you want, and if the board's okay with it, next time I speak with Sean, I can bring you on board and he'll bring their person.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Just to continue sharing ideas. They're enduring a lot of the same hardships and difficulties we are with this enforcements.
I posted 4 of them so far.
Oh, there it is.
So,
But that was after the letter, right?
yes.
So,
Yeah, it was
so, yeah, if you would still.
Yeah. And the reason I did that is because it got returned.
Yeah.
And that's the reason I did another report and posted it on.
That's that'd be good if you could get them together.
Yeah. That would,
Sounds like a plan.
and that'd be after the first year.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Anything else? Go ahead, Ray.
I just want to thank you for the diligence and the work
Absolutely.
and the energy you're putting into it. Impressive. So thanks.
You're welcome. Works don't get you into heaven, but maybe it'll help clean up the community.
We like you. That's good.
Be good, so.
In order for the business of board to be conducted in the most effective and expeditious manner, it is necessary that all persons present maintain a demeanor of civility towards the board, staff, and each other. Conduct that appears threatening or aggressive will not be tolerated. Shouting, speaking out of order, or use of offensive gestures similarly are not acceptable. Such behavior shall constitute the forfeiture of your right to remain in attendance and may, the point board is brought to the board's attention by council or any board member, including the chairperson, resulting in being asked to leave the meeting by the chairperson or, upon your refusal, being escorted out of the meeting by the proper authority.
Daryl?
But being escorted out?
No. Well, you're on the side of those.
I was just returning for a follow-up.
Okay, on your follow-up, I have talked to Jared Powers down here at the fencing company. He's given me a quote as to what the, an automatic gate there would cost and that kind of stuff. I know Aiden has called Stargazer, which hauls our gravel, which would help in correcting the road and putting more gravel down on the road. As for the redirecting of water, I don't know how we're going to get to that. We've looked at it. I don't know how it ever changed, which when he grades the road, he's going to put in a ditch going to the south too, as well as extending that ditch on the north side and making it so that it doesn't run into the house where it crosses the road and goes to the house by improving that ditch. So we're working on all aspects of it. It's just getting the quotes in and stuff to, get the gate and also, get the gravel hauled in. Cause it's gonna take more than just a couple of dump truck loads. It's probably gonna take about 2 galley dumps in there to help build up that road nice and neat and put a nice shoulder on it, so that way, that water will be redirected. But we are working on it. We did move forward and just waiting. And I'll get with Jared tomorrow and see if he's figured out anything. Cause he did recommend that for the gate opener and stuff, a guy that did his, that it is solar and battery operated, so we don't have to run power. And also a fail safe that if we needed to, it will open without anything.
Right. No, like the gravel and the gate are concerned, but I'm looking at the watch, looking at the weather,
I
you know, very nervous that,
I know.
that we're time's running through our fingers and suddenly it's not gonna be able to do anything and. Yeah.
No, that's what we're looking at, and our guys, they've been tied up with brakes and sewer problems and everything else, so we're trying to get it. When we've got a day, let's go get it done.
Great, different.
It was covered.
So time-wise, I understood that's, you know, we're heading into that season. The fence company, are they on top of the solar gate down or?
Yeah, and that's why I'll give Jared a call tomorrow and find out if he's found out any more information. It's just touching back with him, so that way we keep going.
Of course, I guess the gate probably isn't the biggest issue.
No.
The drainage is the biggest issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause an update on my sister from when she slipped and fell last winter on the right knee. It eventually felt like it was healing, but now she's actually walking with a cane. And going to a doctor for treatment.
Cause your sister was there when we were up there both times. I was talking to the other day and also when, Hayden and I went through and explained what we needed to do, and that's when he said, yeah, we'll have to haul in just more than 2 or 3 dump trucks. It'll probably take 2 or 3 valley dumps to build that road. And get it where it's short up enough that it ain't going to run into the house, or even where we can put that ditch through the yard and stuff, so it don't end up in her, which that will build up that pad tree down below.
Okay.
Okay, but we are working on it. It hasn't been put off to the side. But,
Actually, as far as the board goes, I think that we appreciate you being here and following up on that as well. We want that done. Thank you.
mhm.
Board, anything else? Oops. Close the study session, open the record meeting, board record, all city next door, meeting on November 14th at 6:45. John.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
John, in a moment, without reflection, if you go through. Thank you, everybody. Let the minutes show that we have a full quorum, all board members present. Can I get an approval of the agenda?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Moving second, question, discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? How about approval of the minutes?
Mr. Chairman, I motion that we approve the minutes from October 28th, from head study and after session and meeting, and the October 28th, from head ACC meeting.
Second.
Moving second, question, discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Bills payable.
And I make a motion to pay the bills.
I'll second that.
Moving second, discussion, question?
I have a question.
Go ahead, please.
In the details for, NOCO engineering,
Mhm.
there's a term that, I mean, it's a big bill.
Mhm.
But there's a term that comes up over and over, and I just don't know what it is. It's called grading and markups.
That is actually, part of the contracts that they have for, for CAD drawings and all of that stuff. That's why they are in that. It's, Doco doesn't, they do the engineering side, but then they have to go to an independent person to get the CAD drawings of the plan,
Okay,
all of that.
all right, that's
So
it.
that's, they're subcontractors.
I got you.
There is one, I'll bring it up. I know the packet I sent you, that first one was, the Bow County treasurer. That is for the ALS fees that, you pay to have them certify them. And that's where the $4,540 is.
That's a percentage, right?
Yes, it's a percentage
It's
of,
just the fees.
How much?
It's $10 in fees. So for every account that we turn over to Hubble County to collect for us,
$10 per account.
yeah.
I see.
and it wasn't in the one that I sent in the email. This one, have the ad updated.
Okay.
One They'll be upfront with everything.
Frustrating, but that's been, we've had with every year.
Yep.
Other question for us?
So,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, the vision fee, that's for the gentleman who's.
Yes.
That's for the
Yeah.
bladder.
And we're still working with the insurances to try and see who's gonna cover what.
And we really can't proceed on any work on this hole or anything until we get the insurance.
Yeah.
Are they fighting that?
I don't really know. I know there's been emails back and forth to Tom and me, that's the bladder, and they haven't sent anybody out to investigate that.
That'll be my idea.
Yeah,
So do we need to get Carolyn involved in it?
we have talked to her. She said go through the insurance company. They have a bigger batch of lawyers to handle it than us. And
Well, but I guess what, maybe what I was asking, do we need to get Carolyn involved in going to our, and talking to our insurance company?
it might help. But you've been dealing with all the other stuff as the court cases and stuff, which you will have that in negotiation, in executive session.
So we also did, so I spoke with Stephanie Bratcher personally to see if we can find like an Airbnb in town or a short-term rental or anything else, trying to cut our costs as far as keeping the situation at the day's end. And that is our best option at this time.
Other questions for us? So to kind of expand on the NOCO thing, Jim, how are we doing on, so, that's still, is that kind of within the budget of their engineering, and how are we doing on completing that?
Actually, it's in the completion, the BDR's put into the state for their review and all of that, and it's been going back and forth between them. And, the state engineer has to making everything. The only good thing about this is if we do get grant money, we can take that as part of the grant fund to pay that. So we're okay at this point going forward.
Go ahead.
I'm just curious, you were talking about that work with the state. Does the state have any significant issues with what they're showing? Or
Not really.
typical small
Not
stuff?
really. It's just fine tuning stuff like that.
Well, nothing good.
No.
Thank you.
What's, the bills, you have a spreadsheet here of these, that is about?
Yes.
I appreciate that, I appreciate the effort of the disclosure. I don't know if the bills are helpful. We have that same listing in the bills themselves. You know,
So San Isabel, Colorado Natural Gas, that was requested by you.
well, but this, okay, this one, no, there's no information here that isn't in the bill.
So, correct,
There
but
isn't,
that's,
yeah.
so all the utilities, you get this month, the previous month, and the year before. To do your comparison.
Oh,
That was
that's
requested by you
comparison,
2 years.
Okay. At the top there, I guess, so the 1 September, those columns are different months, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay,
They should be,
the last 3 months,
so it's the current bill, the previous month, and then the prior year for that
Oh.
same month.
okay. Okay,
They're not completed.
okay, thank you. Thanks for that.
If the spreadsheet for me should really be on the same details as well, we can cut that one off the Christie, right?
Right, I think so, that one, say, Christie, that work, there's nothing in that spreadsheet.
I'm sorry.
The ACE spreadsheet. will-
No, it's pretty, I mean, in the check register, like as much room as we have. I mean, she can spread it out a little bit more, what have you. Like when I'm looking at it, she can probably spread it out a little bit more, but other than that, it's really what's in the
You don't
check
need
register.
I don't need it. I hope you should cut that. So Christie was saying you don't need to do the ACE spreadsheet in it.
Okay, no more things.
You have all the detail in the bills of what they bought and close enough for us.
I apologize, I guess I'm.
I want to make sure
More things.
saving you work
Sorry.
is keeping the. Well,
Well, with the age, she still ends up doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Separate.
I said,
unless copies on the.
okay. Any other questions, board? Let's work through the bills. Greg,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Bob? Yes. Ray?
Yes,
Chair votes yes.
I apologize, we got something.
No financial report operational?
No, that won't be until the last meeting of the month. Operational, we have, Beckwith Dam report. It's staying the same. No significant changes or anything.
Jim, this is still going to Mark Curry, right?
Yes, he goes every week. We send him a report. He's happy too, that we are moving forward with the engineering and stuff.
Good.
But all of that's the same. You have your rate survey, which Christie and Sandy got together, and as to water usage, if you notice, it's 7,770,560 gallons that is accounted for between building and standpipe, water plant, sewer plant, golf course.
Roberta.
That was Roberta.
It's Roberta.
Oh, I know. Thank you, Roberta.
On
On the water summary.
Oh. She's learning, so, yeah, she's learning, okay.
Okay, so Aiden's report, water, wastewater, operational, department had eventful month with water breaks and sewer plugs. The 20th, we lost the bladder, everybody knew about that. 3 water breaks were on Alondra, Kenichi, and North Parkway. Got them all fixed. I was able to squeeze in a day for road maintenance to blade Geronimo and Showalter. Still have a few roads that need maintenance before it gets too cold. We'll continue to work on them in order of which roads are in worse conditions. No meters replaced. We were able to replace the curb stop. Back truck is down. He did find a thermostat to fix it. It should be coming in tomorrow, hopefully. Today, we ended up having to call Walsenburg back in because we had a blockage up there between the hotel and Applewood. They came down, they had a tough time with it themselves. We tried it with our small jammer. They worked on it until about noon, and they couldn't get through it. So that's when I made the decision, let's call Walsenburg, get theirs down. I talked to Dave, he's sending me information on a couple of back trucks that are, available that they've been looking at, that are single axle. They're only 15, where their truck is huge. And,
it's massive.
yeah,
I thought if we were renting that, we were paying some money.
yeah.
That's what startled me when I drove by.
No, and, we worked out some deals with them. They will be charging us for the last one. I'm waiting for the bill on that. I talked to Lucia, which is the city manager down there now. They're looking at how putting in a new one, so hopefully we can continue our horse trading back and forth. Sometimes they need our help, and when they do, if we can assist, we assist them. Usually it's because their changeover with people has been tremendous too. They were hiring a sewer outside sewer gal at this point and stuff, so they're having trouble with CDLs, and he gave us some information on how to get our CDLs a lot quicker and going to Pueblo to get them. So we're looking at those options too. within Gary's report, it's pretty much the same. I don't know, is that supposed to be 15 million gallons produced?
Yes.
Okay. I was looking at it and it was like, we only produce 4 million gallons? 1.3 million?
Well, I'll have to look at it. Did I type it wrong?
Yeah, I think so. So, he went through and removed all doubling, during the month. We've had numerous plant shutdowns and issues before, bladder. Gary and I worked on how to get everything back up and re-sterilize, tank one and get it back up. So we're at this point, we're at what, about 24 foot? 26 gallon tank three.
Okay.
So we're transferring water and getting that up. It was down to about 5 foot in there. And over the last, 2 weeks, we've
Been moving some water
been
up.
moving water up and keeping.
Yeah, I can tell. It's different water.
It is, there's a little bit more chlorine in it.
It's fizzy water.
Mm.
When it comes out of my cabinet.
Take the aerator off.
But you know what, my hair looks good.
It does look good, I was gonna say.
You and Neil both.
I'm saying. I'm saying.
We'll be ordering more chemicals, for the first quarter soon, so you'll see some bills on it as usually about $20,000 worth of
It's a
bills
lot.
for chemicals that help us up to March.
So, Mr. Chairman, can I ask?
Go ahead.
So the bladder's down. Did we get the inside of tank one painted?
No,
Okay. So we're using it.
we're using tank one right now. Yes,
Is it legit to use like
Yes.
it is?
yes.
Do they do any work in it at all?
They got their scaffolding up in it, we had to tear it down.
They did swab it a little bit, then we sanitized it and put it back online.
Yeah.
When we had all the bladder issues.
So that's what we're fighting.
Had to do that. We
Yeah.
had to.
Yes,
Mhm.
So did we just send him off then, or?
No, he came in last meeting.
Yeah, I remember, but where's he working now?
who cares?
I know, but is he working for us or somebody else?
He's working for himself always.
For who?
He works for himself, so he's all over the state.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, but they're not in the valley.
No,
No, okay. So as soon as we get things straightened out again and we can get it, he'll be back to do it.
So are we going to need another bladder?
Yes, we will. That's where we want them to warranty the bladder that they sent us. And that's where kind of the fight's over right now.
They owe us one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
My time to ask my question. Nobody is updating the schedule, haven't received anything about it.
We haven't,
Or they-
until we get
No, I know, but
bladder and,
okay. Just the ones that came from all the way before, he did say that he had sent them to GMS and the GMS was gonna send them and I was excited. I know since then we've had another stoppage, but
and I did get all of his payroll.
yeah, no, that part we're happy.
That's all caught up with, so.
So you've not received any schedule update?
No,
No.
no.
a lot of talk about it. And it's all supposed on the GMS, but GMS can't quite get it green.
Why is the GMS giving it to Green?
I don't know, no, I'll be talking to Tom tomorrow too. About that, as to why. Where we're at with the bladder company and also about the updates that were sent from Andrew, why aren't they being forwarded? So if you look, actually our wastewater plant received about the same amount of water that we accounted for.
Right.
So we're in there,
Nice.
but
Plant's a little on the small side, but we're doing good.
so, we're still in the process with, Ms. Brink on a lot of things. Gary and I received a notice that our MORs,
No DMRs.
DMRs, were not put in well. We're having trouble getting the changeover from Dave Lewis to Gary so that they can be put in, because it has to be the ORC that puts in, DMRs. We finally got a hold of, Jocelyn today, and she is working with us to go ahead and get our DMRs for, August, July, August, and September in manually if we have to. And with the shutdown with the EPA, they have to approve Gary. So he hasn't been able to get into the EPA because they're shut down and nobody's working. So it's been, that's why we're gonna send them in manually, so that way, okay, you've done, they've been done, here they are. And move forward. And you need to get him transferred over onto our ORC.
Are we gonna get a violation of it?
No, was that they weren't there, and that's, I explained it to her, how can we do it if you're not allowing us to get them for the year?
Okay.
So, yeah.
Will you send those certified, although,
Yeah, we were,
She told me not to send them certified.
really?
Yes,
why?
but I asked her that.
Oh,
I asked her because of the past. I knew that,
yeah.
That we
that's
used
why
to
I
have to
brought
do that.
up, 'cause
and she said, no, absolutely not. Send them by email. Just scan them and email.
Well, that's good though, you got backup.
Then you got a record of it.
Right. It-
So
it-
bring him down
But
here.
it's ridiculous. I'll show you tomorrow what I see that says permittee signature on my, availability on that website, and they still won't let me continue on.
Because we updated everything back in August to make the change and everything. And, oh, well, I didn't get that update. And it's like, it's in the portal
No,
as an
it's
update.
all taken care of. It's just dragging hills.
So even to the point of him saying not to send them certified, was that by voice or was that by email?
That was by voice.
So did you record it then someplace? Did you
Hell no.
No, well,
need to have an email?
when we go to send them, we'll send a letter in stating as per your request.
Yeah.
So that way, if there is a record of it.
If they do that, they might still, I talked to, or I asked the state, the CDPHE for permissions. They, did not respond back. Their website is, or their phone is full. I asked them to please give me a call and talk to me about it, and then, allow me to get into it. It could be too that, Dave Lewis is not taking his name off of it, and they're not letting two people be on it. That's a possibility. We have to have the state look into it to see what's
All
going
that, of
on.
course, definitely need to have a trail.
It's a circle. Yep.
Chairman, I would suggest not even waiting to an email, just say confirming our phone call. This is the instructions that we'll be following. As a standalone thing, while it's fresh.
I can send one back to her, yeah.
Yeah.
Cause she sent me a whole thing that I've already gone through. It was 68 pages of how to do it, and I've already gone through that and done it. So,
Okay, moving on, Parks and Rec operational report, park, they got sod in the field, warning tracks, getting them ready, for the upcoming seasons. It does also save water consumption, both fields were also aerated, we plan to aerate the football soccer field in the spring. The new field was beneficial for soccer and football season. We ended up, having 11 soccer teams, 110 players, and 2 football teams utilize the field in October. Parks and Rec is planning to offer free soccer with the addition of new field. Basketball registration will begin in December with, play beginning in January. Pool and building are winterized. We, replaced 2 exhaust fans that were damaged and have 2 new exhaust fans on order to replace the tailing pans in the bathrooms. We will also regrout the pole this month, which should give us easier, startup for next season. The lake, they're, working on the path, they're pulling out the cement that is the biggest portion of it, and which is where the trees are coming off the deal, that whole area, today they pulled out all that cement. They're having trouble because we got the ditch, and it's such a narrow spot, so they've been busting it up with the backhoe and using the skid loader to take it over to the, dock, or the ramp area, and then we're gonna come back and pull that away as soon as they get where they need to. Trying to load it and all of the other things like, again, he's got his dump truck and stuff that he's using, so, we're doing pretty good there. So, that's that. Holly up for golf shop, October of 2024, we have $38,495. This October, his revenue was up by $9,000 to $47,769. Year end to date, he's at $664,192 compared to last year, which was at 557,000, and the year before that was 490. So he's improving it a bunch. Range balls or balls through October was almost $20,000. If you notice, I had him order another set of balls. He is also putting in a cement pad for the driving range, which he's ordering mats for it so that they aren't tearing up the grass and they can get off the mats all year long. So
Really cut down on maintenance.
yes, it cuts maintenance for Mark and all of that. We'll still have grass area that people can use at times, but it's more for the beginners and guys that go out there and want to get bucket after bucket of balls, they aren't tearing up the grass and using mats. It worked well in Walsenburg, so that's part of it too, is seeing what it's gonna, the cement pad is about $7,000 is what it's gonna cost to put that in. They had him go ahead and do that, as well as the roof on, the maintenance shop. It was gonna be about $7,000 to fix it and get it back. So that's where this extra money that we've made is going back into areas. You asked about golf carts. That's some of this excess, and that's why I'm trying to get lease for now. As to Mark has 25,000 and Mike has 25,000 that before the end of the year that we can use for fertilizers and stuff. So that way, when we started out the beginning of the year, we're ahead of the game and it helps their operating budget.
That's the 25,000 provided by admin.
No, so this is 25,000 that they're over and above, you're over and above 100,000. But yeah, they have in their salaries and hourly, they're over on it. So it still gives us a cushion that we do have money that we're saving up for other expenses. So on Mark's side, rain from October to November was 0. Stellar irrigating as weather and temps allow. Replacing irrigation valve on 10, old valve should not completely close, which is crucial, which we don't want anything to freeze. So that was part of that break in North Park when he dug up the valve. He accidentally hit the line that goes all the way from the bank around the lake over to those that building on the other side of the bank. So that's why they went in and fixed it, and, Hayden and his crew are gonna help Mark replace that valve too. So that we get it done right. They put in, 3 cups instead of the one now, so that if there's ice or water or anything, and they can use different holes on the beams. Shop roof inspected for repairs, bids were put in for repair work, irrigation audit, is still going on, should have it by next week.
Did you personally go down and watch any of that,
Oh,
that irrigation audit?
no, I didn't.
Pretty interesting. They all those cups all over the place, and then they run the sprinklers and then they measure them. So it's fun. I shot a little video of it.
Oh, cool.
So,
So was that done by Mark or by the subcontractor?
what was that guy's name? I can't remember. Scott, maybe?
Yes, it's an engineering group that
Yeah.
they're, that way we can get a true reading as for engineering for this, and we can give that as a grant.
That's part of the grant process.
Yes, that's right. We need to put that in to move forward.
Okay, now this, Mr. Chairman, I have some really wanted to talk about something. One of the things that has not popped up when we're talking about grants, because you brought it up, is we are a very big donator of youth time on that golf course. And I'm not just talking about the Tinker Tots. I'm talking about high school kids, male and female, are using that course an awful lot, and they're using it free. So that's we have not talked about that, any of that in the grant process or the civic service that we're providing to the youth, and I think we're missing that somehow, because that one grant meeting, that lady was saying that the golf course is a hard sell for grants. I don't think she understands what we're doing.
Yeah, and I think we need to elaborate more into that.
Yeah, because we do a great service for the youth of the county.
And even the county wise, when I do get grant money for the golf course, I do use that a lot. We hire you, we teaching them business. We're using it as fundraisers. We're also using it to teach. And
Yeah, we need to put a number on that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Board? Jim, I have a question, I guess, for the path, walking path around the lake. We are, Josh is replacing some of that, turning that out, replacement. We've been using the excuse for some time now that the reason we haven't dealt with that bad walk around the lake is because of the dam, because of what's happening. And that's gonna continue. We're looking for another 2 years before anything happens here. Is it possible for us to replace that entire walk around the lake with what Josh is doing on the east side?
What Josh is doing is just removing the cement that's all busted up and crumbled, and we're replacing it with gravel at this time.
Could we do that in the other areas that have cracks in them as well?
Yes, and that's what we're looking at here.
Not just on the east side there.
It's on the south side.
Right, so all the way around the lake, wherever it's busted, could we have that be a project that, let's get that.
And that's what he's trying to do, is work on sections to get this one was the major section because of the way it was with them trees that are, the roots are, and he's having to remove some of the roots with the backhoe even to make sure that it's level.
I have had complaints from a number of people about actually danger of falling on those cracks or tripping on those cracks.
And that's why
actually that's being a liability for us.
Yeah.
So that's good if we could actually continue on the right.
And that's what he's doing, is he's taking the worst parts right now and slowly working around them like as he can.
Okay.
Gotta do it. But he has the manpower.
I'd like to see that go forward.
Yeah.
Okay, good, thank you. the septic dam report we got, what about the dam report as far as are we comfortable with where we're at with, engineering? I'll give it, you said they're ahead of schedule, we're gonna make it okay.
Cause they said that they would have, the engineering to the state by the end of October, which, that's why she emailed me the last week of October and said we need to pay the permit so that they can put in the engineering report.
So we should still be on track for February.
Yeah, oh, yeah, we should be way ahead of it.
Oh, that's,
On that vein, any progress on the selection of the owner's rep?
I need to get with you.
Okay, we'll
We
talk.
need to get together and you give me who you have that you want to look at as to, I don't know, who you had out of Pueblo, that,
The director of public works for the city of Pueblo, Andrew Hayes, he is, forgive me, we have military members on this board and I'm not quite familiar with the ranks of the Navy. He was an 05. And he has more experience with heavy construction than anybody I've met in my life. He's a professional engineer and he volunteered to do so for the Metro District, serving in the committee.
and I have Lucius from Walsburg that he's the LCB too, so
Awesome.
he.
so you guys need to work together on that.
Yeah, we just need to get,
We still have plenty of time on it.
Yo,
Another, back to Ray's question, I guess we're talking about the audit for the golf course. What's the status of the grant for the golf course?
we're still working on that. She just emailed me that she has stuff put together, but we're also looking for this engineering side to go first before we even start looking at bigger grants. We gotta have the small grants in place for engineering, to have an engineer report in so that we can show that we can conserve water, we can, all the,
Then we know what we're asking for,
yes,
basically.
Okay, so that is moving forward.
yeah.
Okay,
Who did we have for the newsletter this month? That you wrote?
Yeah.
For November?
Yeah.
Okay. I had Neil there, and he did his last, so. Okay. Next meeting.
I think we're doing okay then the interns, I guess as far as Bob, the intern for high school, is kind of on hold until we get some kind of guarantee.
So we're gonna, we don't wanna give up the idea of helping Jim out with the work, so Jim, I'm tied up until the middle of next week, so I'm kind of that Jim will get together, get some updates going on the website, while I'm also trying to talk to Streamline about how can we lock down our software. That anybody can.
And, intern for the utilities, moving forward, so.
we were waiting on the button. No, it's all done.
Okay.
We just got communication now with who we need to work with, who he has scheduled that wants to participate in this.
So we need
And
to
that way
have,
we could get in.
so then we need to come up with a duties, what you expect out of them,
That's going to be the guy who's going to be punishing them.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll work on it, Gary. We can sit down and put together the list and also the questions that will be asked during the interview, because the email was very clear. There's several very excited candidates.
as you said, you're gonna interview that.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine, do we want one or two? I'm not sure, but the pool is large, and that's what I was.
You know, one of the main questions is, what are you looking for in this internship? Are you looking for operations, engineering? What is your goals?
Yeah.
To be,
So you need to have a couple, 2 or 3 of you to interview. The potential intern.
There'll be.
That's not us, the board. I don't think it makes sense for the board to do that.
No, I'll facilitate, but ultimately it is for staff. They'll select and at this point. I mean, I can advise when they're putting together the questions and stuff, but this is,
It's gonna be more or less Gary, me, and Aiden.
hey, yeah, he's gonna be there insured, so you guys, I have no say in what qualifications Gary wants in somebody.
At least show up. Yeah.
Okay, let's hope for that. Parallel to that, sorry, Mr. Chairman, I bumped into Andra Arens, who is the director of city sanitation and sewer for Pueblo. We serve together in the environmental policy advisory committee for the county and PACOG. And she caught wind on the greater vine of what we're doing. And she tried to jump on it and say, well, can we participate? Can we help you guys? This is something I've been wanting. So I said, well, we're in the trial right now with PCC, but as soon as we have CCC starts creating this pathway with our help, I'm sure that we'll all be reaching out. But many, many, many organizations already in Pueblo have heard about it, and they are extremely excited.
One of the things that I did too is I talked to CRWA, which
Yeah.
they do have an intern set up, and they're excited of trying to see how it's going to work, and also maybe have some money to help pay for some of the interns.
Yeah, I've been hearing about this for 6 or 7 years, and nothing's ever happened.
And
So I'm
they've
very skeptical about it.
Well, I think once we have it going, Barry, I hope that they'll actually try to jump on it. If not, I'm happy and I'm very content and pleased with how PCC would, by the way, kudos
I
to
just
them. They
hope,
have been nothing but.
hope it works out for once, because they've been talking about this for years.
But who has?
Rural water.
Oh, rural, oh, yeah, no,
Yeah,
tangentially
so it's
speaking with.
it's been a joke after joke, so.
Okay, anything else?
All I have for operational.
All right, let's move on into the agenda.
Agenda, like I said, cybersecurity review, for our insurance, it is to bring it to the board to make sure that we are on the right path. Like I said, we also have, Ray Lund, which is our IT guy. He is reviewing the policy to make sure that all the things that we are doing is, on the same path as what, the Colorado, pool is looking for, so he's on that path too. Put him in contact with, Alan Thomas, which is our broker for the insurance, and he is giving him the information that he needs from the pool to give to Ray to review all of it, so.
So what do you need us, the board, to do?
Just a motion that you have heard of what we are doing, and we are moving forward in keeping our security up to date and our cybersecurity up to date. And, with further audits, our IT guys will do the audits to make sure that it is within the goals and recommendations.
Is there money involved here?
Yes.
I am reluctant to give a blank check here.
No.
Not going out.
The money involved is the coverage amount. It is not costing us anything. It's just him reviewing that, all the things that we are doing, that we have updated our server, VPNs, and which he's gonna check the list and say, okay, yeah, you guys are doing all of this, and that's all. So it's not gonna be a cost that, there might be a cost if he makes a recommendation, we need to do this.
So then you'll have to come back to it.
Then we'll come back to the board. Yeah.
Okay, I see. So what you're really asking for is for the board to approve of the cybersecurity actions.
That we have already done and made them improvement.
Does that make sense?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion, to approve the verbally delivered cybersecurity, information that's required by our insurance company.
Moving and seconded. Questions? Board?
Yeah, verbally delivered, I have that right? There's no document?
No, it's,
He just
verbal.
Oh, okay, you verbally delivered it to us. I thought that the audit's gonna be verbal. I'm like, hang on a second. No, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
My motion, I just want to make it clear that, for us, we really haven't seen anything except what we've been told.
Yeah, understood.
Is that adequate, Jim?
Yeah. That's fine.
Questions, board? Any other questions?
Question.
All right, let's go. Ray?
Yeah.
Bob? Yep. Ray? Yep. Graham?
Yes.
Yeah, chair votes yes. Roberta, did you get that as far as what that motion was, okay?
I did, thank you.
Okay. All right, let's move on to old business. Everything's pretty much as it has been.
Yeah, we've been busy with everything else.
So,
But,
on my side, I guess, is that you and I just need to get together. and share.
yeah, we got, and there was some other things that we need to review again, or, under deputy, and go around and try with him and say, hey, what can we do, how can we do this?
We need to have somebody higher than the deputy.
Yeah,
Well, the deputy, we need to have the sheriff or.
that can be transferred down to the,
Anything else from the old business? New business? Any new business?
One small item. Had some really good discussions with Colorado Department of Transportation, regional, traffic engineer, Jason Nelson. Jason and I knew each other from when I was at the county. I voiced with him, to him our concerns about some areas in which the horizontal curves and obstacles around the intersections cause conflicts that can imperil drivers. Let me explain. Greenhorn, Blanco, Alondra, you have 2 lanes and you have a sudden deceleration if you want to exit the road. That sudden deceleration puts other vehicles in a conflict. Conflict is I brake or I swerve. Swerve creates a head-on collision possibility. Especially, for example, towards where I live in Alondra, there is a horizontal curve that is blocked by a tree. So if there's a car coming and you don't see the car, you're half distracted, etc., and you decide to swerve around Kareem, who's going home and turning on Alondra, you're going to have a head-on collision, which any of us know physics, by far the deadliest type. Jason answered right away. He gave us the collision reports from Diaxis, which is the database that the state has. In the past 5 years, there have only been 5 collisions in that span of roadway. 3 of them were, 2 of them involved deer. The other ones were side swipes, so it was actually a different collision pattern, was basically, and rear ends. So none of them were tragic. Nevertheless, we agreed that that is something that should stay in the radar. Eventually, as the community develops and population densities go up, more people drive, higher possibility of head-on collisions. So that's going to stay in CDOT's radar, and we said that we would continue to provide information. But lastly, they would be installing signs around those saying intersection ahead, sudden deceleration possible, just for proper house cleaning and safety. So
they should also look at the one on Corner Verde because we have that hill.
Yeah.
And people coming out of Corner Verde or even decelerating to turn on Corner Verde, they don't see,
yeah,
you don't have far enough distance.
yeah, and all of this communications by email, the county was also copied because all those 3 intersections are, the access permit of them are owned by the county. Those are county roads. So they're aware, and Yvonne said that they would also look at their diaxis, and if there's any safety improvement that they can do. For example, I mentioned the tree that when you turn from Alondra to Olympia, you do not see it. I almost crashed into my wife the other day. So they're going to trim that tree. That one and the one on Lakeview Circle, and I'm sorry, these are all around where I live because are the ones that I saw. You do not, when you turn around, you can't see the cars that are queuing up on the stop sign, so it also creates another conflict. The county already filed a CSR to trim that tree. So, and again, this for everybody in the room and a few people that request the Zoom, anything on a county right of way that you see a tree blocking speeding sign, any type of traffic sign, it's their responsibility and they have a tree trimming contract. They are on the hook to go out there, send the crews and make sure that the visibility is clear. It happens because they don't see it. There's only so many guys and 2,000 miles of roadway. But they're very quick. We tell them and they send somebody with a chainsaw and usually take care of it within a week. So yeah, that was it.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else? Anything, Jim? No?
Mr. Chairman, just a question, who would we contact if I see someone, they'll come back to the board or him or?
No, for the
If I see a tree that's blocking a sign or tree and has,
719-583, sorry, 719-583-6040, which is the main line for Public Works. Is just tell them, it's probably gonna be Susan that answers, tell them that, where the address is, approximate side of the intersection or,
facing
yeah,
east.
which way you're located and what the problem is, and they'll file a CSR in their system, and usually within a week for something like this, they take care of it.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's in Pueblo West, it's 60/60, but that doesn't matter.
Thank you. Agricultural Control Committee, new construction.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion to approve the fence going in at 5181 Saboa.
Second?
Moving second, questions, discussion? Let's vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Actions, I have none at this time. Since Bob was gone, you know.
Well, Jim, you've been out traveling the world. Okay, let's, somebody needs to make a motion to go into executive session.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion, per S 24-6-402, parentheses 4, small e, Colorado Revised Statutes, determining positions relative to matters that may be subject to negotiation strategy for negotiation and instructing negotiators on summons and complaint. I believe that's what to say, filed, I believe that's what to say in district court.
Second.
Moving second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Let's go into executive session.
With that, we will not be making any decision or anything, so
Just agree.
this is just.
We'll just come back to you.
We don't have to.
We stop recording.
Yes.
One month for great. You can go.
I'll pause it.
I can.